It's 2025. You can get food delivered in 30 minutes and FaceTime someone on Mars. But in Utah, you need permission from the fish to go fishing on horseback. These are real laws, still on the books, and every U.S. state has at least one that sounds completely fake. One bans singing off-key in public. Another makes it illegal for bears to wrestle humans. And the last one might be the dumbest law ever written. Alabama. It's illegal to wear a fake mustache in church if it makes people laugh. Real law. You can bring a Bible, you can bring judgment, but novelty facial hair? Absolutely not. Alabama will let you open carry a gun into Walmart, but a fake Tom Selleck mustache in the pews is apparently where they draw the line. They also ban bear wrestling and Sunday dominoes. So, don't fight wildlife, don't gamble, and never be funny near Jesus. Alaska. It's illegal to wake a sleeping bear to take a photo because tourists kept poking hibernating bears for pictures. And when you wake a bear mid-nap, it doesn't pose, it mauls. The law is simple. Don't wake it, don't photograph it, and if you do, nature handles the paperwork. Alaska also bans pushing a live moose out of a moving airplane, which means somebody absolutely tried that. In Alaska, the laws aren't there to protect the animals. They're there to protect you from your own stupidity. Arizona. It's illegal for donkeys to sleep in bathtubs. Yes, this is a real law because one time during a flash flood, a donkey fell asleep in a tub and floated away. The town had to rescue it. Arizona lawmakers said, never again. You can own a flamethrower. You can carry a gun without a permit. But a donkey in a bathtub? Absolutely not. In Arizona, this law exists solely because someone once looked at a bathtub-dwelling donkey and thought, we need legislation. Arkansas. It's illegal to mispronounce the state's name. It's not Arkansas. It's Arkansas. Get it wrong, and you've committed a crime against state pride. In 1881, lawmakers got so fed up, they passed an official law declaring the correct pronunciation. Not a suggestion, a ruling. There's no jail time, just immediate correction from everyone within earshot, usually followed by, bless your heart. In Arkansas, you can mess up a lot of things, but say the name wrong, and the whole room will know. California. It's illegal to whistle for a lost canary before 7 a.m. You can legally smoke weed in public, but try whistling for a bird at 6:50, and suddenly, you're a criminal. The law doesn't mention dogs, car alarms, or 3 a.m. EDM. Just canaries. Specifically. So your Tesla alarm can scream for hours. But if Tweety escapes at dawn, that's a noise violation. Welcome to California, where the rent is $4,000 a month, and the only thing truly regulated is bird-related whistling. Colorado. It's illegal to lend your vacuum cleaner to your neighbor. You can legally buy weed at a drive-thru, but loaning out your Dyson? Criminal behavior. The law exists because neighbors in the 1920s kept borrowing vacuums and never giving them back. So Colorado solved it the legal way. You can share a joint, you can share a ski lift, but share a vacuum? Absolutely not. In Colorado, community spirit ends the moment someone asks to clean their carpet. Connecticut. It's illegal for a barber to hum while cutting hair. Your haircut must be done in complete, joyless silence. because expressing musical enthusiasm is apparently unprofessional. Connecticut has great schools, beautiful fall foliage, and elite pizza. But if your barber hums, that's a crime. The state also bans walking backwards after sunset, which means Connecticut has very strict rules about how you're allowed to move and sound. Sit still, face forward, no humming. Welcome to getting a haircut in Connecticut. Delaware. It's illegal to sell or wear pants that are firm-fitting around the waist. The first state to ratify the Constitution, and apparently the last state to accept skinny jeans. The wording is so vague that yoga pants, jeggings, and half of Lululemon are technically contraband. Delaware has no sales tax, so people come here to shop. But buy the wrong pair of pants, and you're breaking the law the moment you put them on. Speedos at the beach? Fine. Skinny jeans? Too far. Florida. It's illegal to sing in public while wearing a swimsuit. Yes. In the state where literally anything can happen, musical swimwear performances are where they draw the line. You can wrestle alligators, airboat through parking lots, and make national news involving a traffic cone. But sing Wonderwall in swim trunks? Criminal. Florida is pure chaos. Except when it comes to karaoke in a Speedo. Georgia. It's illegal to tie a giraffe to a telephone pole or street lamp. Yes, giraffe parking is regulated. The law exists because traveling circuses used to tie exotic animals to public infrastructure. Apparently, giraffe plus street lamp was a real problem. Where are you supposed to put the giraffe instead? The law doesn't say, just not there. Georgia also bans carrying an ice cream cone in your back pocket on Sundays. So between that and the giraffe law, the state clearly assumes you have bad ideas and tall animals. Hawaii. It's illegal to put coins in your ears. Statewide. For some reason. Hawaii has strict rules about noise, littering, and protecting reefs. But loose change as earrings? Absolutely not. You can hike volcanoes and surf at dawn, but stick a quarter in your ear and you've crossed a legal line. Hawaii also bans owning snakes, which actually makes sense, unlike whatever crime coin earrings were supposed to prevent. Idaho. It's illegal to fish from a camel's back. Yes, a camel. In Idaho. There are no native camels, no camel tours, no camel problem. Yet the state still felt the need to shut this down preemptively. You can hike, hunt, and fish across stunning wilderness. Just don't do it from a camel. Idaho also limits how heavy a box of chocolates you can give your sweetheart, proving that romance and camel fishing both have boundaries. Illinois. It's illegal to speak English. The official language is American. In 1923, Illinois lawmakers decided English needed a rebrand and just renamed it. Why? National pride. Vibes. No explanation. There's no difference. The law never clarifies. You can speak English, American, or pure Chicago slang. It all counts somehow. Illinois also bans fishing in pajamas, proving the state has very strong opinions about language and bedtime behavior. Indiana. It's illegal to catch a fish with your bare hands. The state banned noodling, sticking your arms into river holes and hoping you grab a fish instead of a snapping turtle. Why? Because people kept doing it, and they kept losing fingers. You can enjoy affordable living and the Indy 500. Just don't go full caveman on a catfish. Indiana also bans selling dyed ducklings unless you sell at least 6, proving the state legislates against very specific bad ideas. Iowa. It's illegal for a one-armed piano player to perform for money. Play for free? Fine. Charge admission? Illegal. Iowa doesn't ban two-armed pianists. It doesn't ban one-armed guitarists. Just piano. Just one arm. Just money. Iowa also bans mustached men from kissing women in public, proving the state has a long history of oddly specific grudges. Kansas. It's illegal to serve wine in teacups. This dates back to Prohibition, when bars hid alcohol in fancy china. Prohibition ended, but Kansas never let this go. You can open carry a firearm into Starbucks, but pour Merlot into a teacup? Absolutely not. Kansas also bans hunting whales in a landlocked state, proving Kansas laws are built on principle, not geography. Kentucky. It's illegal to carry an ice cream cone in your back pocket, not for hygiene, to prevent horse theft. Thieves used to stash ice cream in their pockets so horses would follow them home. Kentucky saw this and said, absolutely not. You can carry a concealed firearm, but a concealed Dairy Queen cone? Suspicious. In Kentucky, the law assumes you, a horse, and an ice cream cone are plotting something. Louisiana. It's illegal to gargle in public. In New Orleans, a city built on chaos, audible mouth rinsing is apparently where decency draws the line. You can drink on the street, throw beads, puke in a gutter, and dance until sunrise. But gargle? Absolutely not. Louisiana also bans stealing crawfish, which actually makes sense. But the gargling thing, that's between you and the law. Maine. It's illegal to keep Christmas decorations up after January 14th. Not because they're unsafe, because they're an eyesore. Your lights can be frozen to the house, snow everywhere, fingers numb. But if that wreath is still up on January 15th, fine. Maine also bans stepping out of a plane mid-flight, which feels less like a law and more like very solid advice. Maryland. It's illegal to take a lion to the movies. Dinner in a movie? Fine. Bring a full-grown predator? Absolutely not. The law doesn't ban other exotic animals, just lions, at movie theaters, which strongly suggests something happened. Maryland also bans swearing while driving in parts of the state, proving road rage and movie nights both have very specific limits. Massachusetts. It's illegal to go to bed without bathing first. This dates back to colonial Boston, where lawmakers decided hygiene was not optional. It was the law. You can drive like a maniac, honk at pedestrians, and block bike lanes. But go to bed sweaty? Absolutely not. Massachusetts also bans gorillas in the back seat of a car, proving the state has very strong opinions about bedtime and back seats. Michigan. It's illegal to chain an alligator to a fire hydrant. Yes, alligator parking is regulated. The law exists because circuses used to tie exotic animals to hydrants, blocking emergency access. So Michigan stepped in. Where are you supposed to put the alligator instead? The law doesn't say, just not at a fire hydrant. Michigan also bans painting sparrows and selling them as parakeets, proving the state plans for reptiles and very specific scams. Minnesota. It's illegal to cross state lines with a duck on your head. Not chickens, not geese, just ducks. And only if you're leaving the state. The law was meant to stop game bird smuggling, but it reads like Minnesota once had a serious duck hat problem. Stay inside Minnesota? Fine. Cross the border wearing a duck? Crime. Minnesota also bans loitering, proving the state has strong opinions about standing still, and absolutely none about why the duck is on your head in the first place. Mississippi. It's illegal to teach others what polygamy is. Not practice it. Just explain the concept. You can own flamethrowers, open carry firearms, and drive a monster truck to church. But define multi-partner marriage? Illegal. Mississippi also bans obscene bumper stickers, proving the state prefers mystery over explanations. Missouri. It's illegal to drive with an uncaged bear. Yes, this had to be written down. The law doesn't ban bears in cars, just loose bears. Put it in a cage, and legally speaking, you're good to go. Missouri also bans honking someone else's horn, which somehow feels even less necessary than the bear rule. Montana. It's illegal to have a sheep in the cab of your truck without a chaperone. Yes, the sheep needs supervision. The law never defines what a chaperone is, so enforcement is entirely vibes-based. Another sheep? A dog? Your mother-in-law? Who knows? Just not unsupervised sheep. Montana also restricts married women from fishing alone on Sundays, proving the state has very specific rules about animals and independence. Nebraska. It's illegal for bars to sell beer unless they also serve soup. No soup, no beer license. The law doesn't care what kind of soup. Chili in a crock pot? Legal. One sad can of Campbell's? Still counts. So you can run a full bar, blast music, and pour craft beer all night, as long as there's some form of soup existing nearby. Nebraska also requires a license for a mom to give her daughter a perm, proving the state believes alcohol, hair, and soup all need regulation. Nevada. It's illegal to drive a camel on the highway. You can gamble all night, marry a stranger at 3 a.m., and watch a Cirque du Soleil show about water. But a camel on I-15? Absolutely not. This dates back to the 1800s, when leftover army camels were still roaming the desert. Nevada shut that down. Nevada also bans kissing with a mustache, proving the state draws the line at camels and questionable facial hair. New Hampshire. It's illegal to sell the clothes off your back to pay a gambling debt. Live free or die, unless you're settling poker losses with your t-shirt. The law exists to prevent exploitation and public indecency because colonial gamblers kept losing everything. New Hampshire also has no income tax and a hardcore libertarian streak, but you still have to keep your pants on. The state also bans collecting seaweed at night, proving freedom ends exactly where things start getting weird. New Jersey. It's illegal to wear a bulletproof vest while committing a murder. Murder is already illegal, But protected murder is apparently worse. The law exists to stack extra charges, but the wording makes it sound like New Jersey has standards about how you commit crimes. New Jersey also bans slurping soup in public, proving the state takes both violence and table manners very seriously. New Mexico. It's illegal for idiots to vote. That wording is straight from the 1912 state constitution. Outdated medical terminology that somehow never got removed. The problem? The law never defines who qualifies, so it's unenforceable, but still officially there. You can debate red versus green chili all day, but whether you're legally allowed to vote? Unclear. New Mexico also bans dancing while wearing a sombrero, proving this state has some very specific, very old ideas about behavior. New York. It's illegal to throw a ball at someone's head for fun. In a city where chaos is normal, playful dodgeball violence is where the law steps in. You can block sidewalks, yell at strangers, and honk at 2 a.m. But being your friend with a ball? Crime. New York also bans greeting someone by wiggling your fingers under your nose, proving the city has zero tolerance for childish behavior, unless it involves pigeons. North Carolina. It's illegal to sing off-key. Bad karaoke isn't just embarrassing here, it's a public nuisance. The law never defines what off-key means, so enforcement is basically vibes and hurt feelings. 3 beers in at open mic night? Dangerous territory. North Carolina also bans using elephants to plow fields, proving the state has a long history of shutting down terrible ideas early. North Dakota. It's illegal to fall asleep with your shoes on. The idea is that if you pass out fully dressed, you're probably drunk and causing a public nuisance. You can drive a snowmobile down the road and survive 6-month winters, but doze off in your boots? Illegal. North Carolina also bans serving pretzels with beer, proving the state is deeply suspicious of comfort, joy, and relaxation. Ohio. It's illegal to get a fish drunk. This law exists because people were actually pouring alcohol into aquariums for fun. Enough times that Ohio had to step in. You can get wasted and swim in a lake yourself, but the fish? They must remain sober. Do it anyway, and you're facing animal cruelty charges, a fine, and the knowledge that you are exactly why this law exists. Ohio also bans undressing in front of a portrait of a man, proving the state takes both fish ethics and vibes very seriously. Oklahoma. It's illegal to make ugly faces at a dog. Yes, seriously. Don't grimace, sneer, or stick your tongue out at a canine, or you're breaking the law. You can survive tornadoes, drive trucks, even read comic books outside. But offend a pooch? That's a fine and public shame. Oklahoma also bans reading comic books while driving, proving some rules actually make sense. Oregon. It's illegal to pump your own gas. This law exists statewide to create jobs and prevent fires, which basically means you sit in your car while someone else does what 48 other states trust you to handle. Try it anyway, and you're technically breaking the law, facing a fine and confusing every gas station attendant within a 50-foot radius. Oregon also bans leaving your car door open longer than necessary, proving the state has very specific ideas about fuel and doors. Pennsylvania. It's illegal to sleep on top of a refrigerator outdoors. This law exists because someone actually tried it, and the state decided outdoor appliance napping needed regulation. Do it anyway, and you're looking at a citation, a wellness check, and a very awkward morning conversation with the police. Pennsylvania also bans catching fish with your mouth, proving some things are just too weird to allow. Rhode Island. It's illegal to throw pickle juice on a trolley. This law exists because pranksters actually tried it, and the state needed to stop slippery, brine-based chaos. Do it anyway, and you're facing a fine, community service, and the permanent title of Pickle Juice Guy. Rhode Island also bans selling toothpaste and a toothbrush to the same customer on Sunday, proving the state takes both transit and dental hygiene very seriously. South Carolina. It's illegal to play pinball if you're under 18. This law exists because pinball was once considered gambling, and the state never updated the law. Do it anyway, and you're kicked out of the arcade and grounded by the law of flippers. South Carolina also bans working on Sundays without a permit, proving the state takes both games and labor very seriously. South Dakota. It's illegal to fall asleep in a cheese factory. Falling asleep around vats of hot dairy and heavy machinery, not allowed. Someone tried it, and the state made sure it never happened again. Break this rule, and you're looking at termination, a citation, and the infamous title of the person who fell asleep in cheese. South Dakota also bans showing movies that treat police officers offensively, proving the state takes both dairy and decorum very seriously. Tennessee. It's illegal to share your Netflix password. Pass it to a cousin or friend, and you could face up to a year in jail and a $2,500 fine. Tennessee made password sharing a crime before any other state even considered it. Tennessee also bans driving while asleep, proving the state takes both streaming and consciousness very seriously. Texas. It's illegal to shoot a buffalo from the second story of a hotel. Back in the 1800s, tourists were firing at buffalo from hotel balconies for sport. So Texas had to get extremely specific about which floor was unacceptable. Do it anyway, and you're looking at a fine, confiscated weapons, and a reputation you'll never shake. Texas also bans milking someone else's cow, proving the state has long been forced to legislate against absolutely unhinged behavior. Utah. It's illegal to cause a catastrophe. The law bans knowingly causing a catastrophe, though it never defines what counts. Could be a flood, an explosion, or just a really bad party. Break this law, and you could face a fine, prison, or whatever the court decides counts as catastrophic that day. Utah also bans hunting whales, proving the state likes to be prepared for disasters, both real and imaginary. Vermont. It's illegal to deny the existence of God. The state constitution technically requires public officials to believe in God to hold office, though federal law makes it unenforceable. Break it, and you could face removal from office, if anyone actually tried to enforce it. Vermont also bans whistling underwater, because why not add impossible rules to a progressive state? Virginia. It's illegal to hunt animals on Sunday, except raccoons, which you can hunt until 2 a.m. Most wildlife is off limits on the Sabbath, but raccoons are considered pests, so they get a Sunday pass, just not past 2 a.m. Break it with anything else, and you face fines and confiscation. Virginia also bans tickling women, showing the state has a long history of oddly specific rules. Washington. It's illegal to harass Bigfoot. Skamania County made it a crime to bother the legendary creature, with fines and up to a year in jail, just in case he's real. Washington also bans pretending your parents are rich, proving the state has a taste for oddly specific rules. West Virginia. It's illegal to snooze on a train. Boarding Amtrak and dozing off can get you fined and escorted off, just for trying to nap. West Virginia also bans taking roadkill home for dinner without a permit, proving bureaucracy applies even to breakfast. Wisconsin. It's illegal to serve apple pie without cheese. Skip the cheddar and you're breaking the law. Wisconsin takes its dairy very seriously. Serve it wrong and expect complaints faster than the cows can moo. The state also bans cutting a woman's hair without her husband's permission, proving some rules age like fine wine or expired milk. Wyoming. It's illegal to take a photo of a rabbit from January to April without a permit. Point your lens the wrong way, and you're facing fines and confiscation. The rabbits apparently get 4 months of privacy a year. Wildlife officers take metadata seriously. Wyoming also bans women from standing within 5 feet of a bar while drinking, proving some laws exist purely to confuse tourists. And that's all 50 states and 50 absurd laws. But here's the twist. There's a federal law that applies to every state, banning you from using a fake name to buy a plane ticket if it matches someone on the no-fly list, even though the law was written in 1994, 7 years before the no-fly list existed. The government literally made a law about something that didn't exist yet, which might be the most American law of all.